Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is wonderful to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in Germany, and I haven't really planned what I'm going to say in this video, but I want to talk about a topic that has been on my mind a lot lately, and I would say this has been one of my biggest expat challenges I have had to face since living in Germany. So from what I'm aware of, from what I have been told, it is basically illegal for children in Germany to have any time off school, apart from maybe if there's a death in the family or if a child is sick, if they physically can't come to school, that's an exception. But as far as like going away on holiday or, travel, a child is not allowed to be pulled out of school for that reason alone. So for most German families, this isn't really a problem at all because they just book their holidays during the summer period. The kids have about 6.5 weeks off over summertime and they can take their summer holidays during that time. But for us as a Kiwi German family, this is a problem because summertime in Germany and summertime in New Zealand does not match up, and nor do the holidays, the school holidays. My little girl Amelia recently turned 6, so last month in January she had her birthday, and 6 in Germany is a really big deal. It is one of those big sort of milestone birthdays because 6-year-olds in Germany are old enough to start school, and so most German kids start school at 6. In New Zealand 5 is the big milestone because in New Zealand kids start school at 5. But I should have been so excited about Amelia's 6th birthday because she was definitely excited, but instead I felt this overwhelming feeling of sadness and despair. So when Amelia turned 6, quite a few Germans within my community asked me the big question, what are you going to do about visiting family in New Zealand, because it is forbidden to take kids out of school when it's not like the holiday time. Germans love to use the word forbidden, basically they mean it's illegal, you can't do it. And they asked me, whether I'm going to be going back in the New Zealand winter, and what a shame that will be because I'll miss out a big chunk of the German summer, and rah-de-rah-de-rah. And oh my goodness, this really upset me. And obviously I knew that this was kind of going to be my reality, but it just didn't help that people were constantly reminding me about it and asking me what I was going to do, because Rob and I didn't know what we were going to do about this situation. I lost sleep over it. It's been something that has been really worrying and bothering to me. So if you watch my videos, you guys might know that I really struggle with the German winter. I absolutely love the German summer and the in-between seasons. They are amazing here in Germany, and I absolutely treasure those warmer days. And for me, the thought of having to lose a big chunk of my German summer and sort of extend my winter is it's not a nice thought for me, and it actually was getting me really down thinking about the fact that I will have to travel to New Zealand during their winter. And not only will I be losing a big chunk of the beautiful German summertime, I'll also be missing out on the New Zealand summertime completely. My kids won't get to experience swimming in the ocean in New Zealand and making sandcastles and all of that kind of stuff. I can't think about it too much because it just makes me so sad. So Rob and I, we have been wrecking our brains trying to think of some kind of a solution for this problem that we have, and we have not been able to think of any solution, and it's just the most frustrating situation. So basically the only solution we've been able to think of is traveling during winter time in New Zealand, which is German summer, and obviously that is not ideal. And so I've been really upset about this. This has been really bothering me. Most people that we talk to here about it say, you can forget it. There is no way that a German school is going to let Amelia have time off to travel to New Zealand. And so I just kind of forgot about that idea. And I've even heard crazy stories about police waiting at airports the day before the summer holiday starts here in Germany and catching parents who have, pulled their kids out of school a day early. And these parents have been arrested. So, I don't know the full story, but basically that's how the story goes. So yes, they are super serious about kids having no time off in Germany. So I basically accepted the fact that my family and I would be having a very long winter and a very short summer. And just when I had kind of like accepted our fate, I got some pretty good news. So I'm part of a Facebook group for Kiwis living in Germany. It's a private group. It's like a support group for, you know, New Zealanders living in Germany. I love this Facebook group. So last week I decided to write a message on the Kiwis in Germany Facebook forum, and I asked, any Kiwis living in Germany with school-age kids? My little girl will be starting school this year and I am stressing about how we are going to make it work with travelling back to New Zealand for holidays. I hear they are really strict in Germany about kids having any time off, which probably means we will have to travel in the German summer holidays, which isn't ideal. I'm wondering how other Kiwi German families make this work. So anyway, I wasn't expecting any like solution to the problem. I guess I just wanted to connect with other families who are going through the same thing as me, as our family. And I was so pleasantly surprised by some of the replies that I received. I got so many replies, and I'm going to read out some of the replies that I did receive. I'm not going to mention any names, but I hope these people don't mind that I read out their messages. So the first message that I received within like a few minutes of posting this: our oldest girl will be starting school this year as well. When we spoke to the headmaster, he was surprisingly relaxed about it and said that these are family reasons, and when going to New Zealand we obviously need more than just 1 week. He had no problem when I mentioned having 3 weeks off in February. I know the law is very strict, but if you have a good headmaster, it shouldn't be a problem. Very important to get an official letter from the school allowing the child to be away from school. Otherwise, you could get big fines or even be prohibited from leaving the country. Oh my goodness. Guys, you have absolutely no idea what a relief it was for me to read that message and realize that there actually is a possibility of getting a little bit of time off during winter time. I had thought it was completely out of the question, and I know that this might not be the case for us and for our school, but to know that it isn't actually completely impossible for Amelia to get time off during, you know, the German winter, New Zealand summer, this was just amazing for me to read. And I'm going to read you out a few other messages. I also got some messages saying no, it is definitely not possible, they are extremely strict in Germany and all that kind of stuff. But I want to read you some of the positive messages. We have lived here for 5 years and have had no issues travelling home with our 4 kids. Our winter break is 3 weeks, and we do get a formal letter from the school confirming our travel plans as we leave a week before the school break, just in case we are ever stopped at immigration. To date, we have never been stopped. Super reassuring to me. Another message I received: German here, spent most of my school life in German schools, and I can tell you, my mum took me out of school many times for holidays. Just write a letter saying that you have to visit family. It's never wrong to exaggerate a little to make it seem more urgent, and they have no right to decline it. If they do, say your kid is sick or something, yes, kids have to go to school, but you're the mum and you know what's best. And if you think that your kid can manage to survive with 2 weeks less in school, then I don't see a problem. Of course, your kid will have to learn everything she has missed, but kids learn fast. So try talking to the teachers first, and I'm sure it will be fine. All of my classmates were at least gone 1 to 2 weeks a year for a holiday. So that was coming from a German. So another message I received from a Kiwi living in Germany: I just got 3 weeks allowed added on to the winter holidays so that we could go back for 5 weeks. They will let you do it, just not every year. The procedure at our school was to write a letter saying why it was necessary, and then I got a letter back saying it was approved. I applied about 8 months in advance to be able to book tickets accordingly. Just give it a go. Another message from a Kiwi guy living in Germany: Antoinette, like my wife said, a nice talk with the headmaster and you will be reassured. Our daughter starts in September and we are going 4 weeks in February. Headmaster totally understood the importance of a trip for our girls. Like others have said, probably easy due to age. So guys, as you can imagine, I was just so happy and just so relieved to receive these messages from these other Kiwi German families in a similar position to us, and just to know that it is a possibility, it's not totally out of the question for Amelia to maybe, you know, travel to New Zealand to visit family during the German winter. So Rob and I, we've come up with a plan. We are going to meet with Amelia's principal of her new school, and she's not actually starting school until September, but we're going to meet before, like well before that. We're going to ask if it's possible for Amelia to have 2 to 3 weeks off during the German winter. She will be having a couple of weeks off at various times throughout winter, and we're hoping that we can combine these 2 to 3 weeks with the holidays that she will already be having. And of course we will be explaining the reasons why we think that this decision will benefit Amelia. Rob and I, we've talked about this so many times, the fact that the exposure, the English language exposure that Amelia will be receiving by being fully immersed in a native English speaking country for a long period of time, you know, for a month, will be so incredibly beneficial for her language development, for her English. I know from previous times we visited New Zealand just how much Amelia's English language has skyrocketed by being in New Zealand and hearing the English language from all directions, being immersed in the English language. Also, I feel like it is just so important for Amelia to be able to spend quality time with her Kiwi family. I think it's very important for her identity, you know, as a Kiwi German, to, you know, experience the Kiwi culture, to get to know her Kiwi side of the family. And I think for me it is so important too. I really want Amelia to be able to connect with my side of the family. Not only that, just think of the experience that she will be getting from flying, from traveling, you know. It's a long flight, there's a stopover in another country, and I think the life experience that she will be receiving from traveling alone is totally worth her having time off school. I strongly believe that Amelia will be learning so much more during that time she's in New Zealand than she would be learning in those few weeks at school in Germany. So I really hope that the principal can take all of these factors into consideration. And honestly, I do respect the German laws. I know that these kind of laws are put down for a reason, and I do, you know that there are a lot of other kids from foreign, you know, immigrant backgrounds who will also be wanting time off and that kind of thing, and I know that it is not possible for all of these kids to be given that time off. I just hope that they can look at our situation in a way that, you know, maybe this will benefit Amelia, I don't know. So, you know, we will see. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, and I hope it all works out for us. And I know that I have a lot of Germans who watch my videos, so I'd be really interested to hear about your experience with the German school system. Were you allowed time off during your time at German school, or if you know other children who were allowed time off during, you know, your school years, and, you know, how strict are these laws really, you know. As far as I know, they're very, very strict, and it's very, very rare that a principal, you know, that a school would allow a child to have time off. And I know I also have a lot of expats who watch my videos, and so I'd also be interested to hear about how you sort of deal with these kind of issues in your family. If you have school-age kids, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know how your family gets around this situation, because it is very, very tricky. It's a huge obstacle for an expat family in Germany, especially a Kiwi or an Aussie family. You know, I think it's probably a little bit easier if you are from the United States. When, you know, your summers meet up, you could, you know, plan that a little bit differently. So anyway, guys, I know that I did a lot of rambling in this video, but it's just a topic that I think was worth bringing up. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.